Alright, all you video gamers, welcome to yet another microcarb musical inspiration edition of the DJ Smokey's True Video Game Stories. And with a title like that, we decided to go with the video game none other than Ford Racing 2. A game, mind you, that I thought for years said Ford Team Racing 2, but I was wrong with the title after we looked it up last night. And I guess with that said, folks, I think it's time for us to go ahead, start our engines, and get prepared to unlock some cars that I saw in a car book long time ago when I was a kid, as we get ready to paint the picture. Alright, this video game story began approximately 12 years ago when I got this game in a 2-for-1 deal when I went to GameStop. And I saw the game, I saw the car on the cover, and I said, I want to race that car. Now, at the time, as an expert in cars, due to as many car books that I read, I realized that that car on the cover was none other than the Ford GT, which was a car that I do believe went about 250 miles per hour. I could be wrong with that miles per hour speed. It could be faster, it could be slower, but as a kid, that was the number I saw by that car, and I said I wanted it. Now, what I didn't know about this game was three things. The fact that every single race I would have to go through, I would get a chance to test the car itself to actually unlock it before I can race it. And unfortunately, my skills in this game, after not playing Ridge Racer at that time for well over 6 years, was lacking in the racing department. And I was just crashing in the walls, sliding off the track, running into the grass, fishtailing cars for no reason just to get in the first place, and it was a mess. But everything would change with my racing skills once I would hear one song in this game, and it was a song that at the time I thought was a song that Weezer came out with when he was, doing his musical performance alongside with the Muppets, and it was a song that was called Keep Fishing. I thought it was an alternate version of it, but it turned out it was a song by the band Super Bright Lights with a song they called Nothing to Lose. And whenever I heard that song, I don't know whether it was the music going through my bones or it was just the coolness of how cool that song was. It helped me get in the first place, break records, and even unlock cars that was even cooler than the Ford GT. And two of the cars I was able to unlock on my way to that Ford GT was a car that looked futuristic to me and was a car I wanted to own in real life, which was the Ford 49, which was a car that had this secret wheel compartment on it, and it looked like something from out of the Car of Tomorrow things that they would show for Tex Avery, which was a cool car, but went too slow for my liking. So I decided to upgrade my car from there to a car that I remembered long time ago, known as the Ford Mustang. And seeing the fact that when I used this car, it was just around the time when John Cena did his WrestleMania entrance with it, I was hyped the fact that I unlocked it, but it was just a stepping stone to the next car I wanted to get, which was the Ford GT. And the race I would have to do to get it would have to be the International Raceway race, where they actually allowed me to race this car. But unfortunately, while racing with this car, I would realize that the first place vehicle would be this weird looking, futuristic, high-speed car that seemed impossible to beat until that song hit. And the sad part about it is, folks, the song would hit on the third lap, where the car that was this futuristic looking car that I keep forgetting the name of was in first place, and it looked seemingly impossible for me to beat him. But when that song hit, like I said before, boom. Next thing I know, I was cutting corners quicker than I thought I could, racing down the way as fast as I possibly could, putting that needle in the red, all just to beat that car before it could cross the finish line, and it would say, finish! And then it would say, you smashed that record! And I was like, wait a minute, how in the world did I smash the record when this guy was just inches in front of me? And I would see on the screen how close I was to losing, and it was by a mere 3, 4, 5 of a second? I don't know what the proper terminology of it would be, but either way, it was a close finish and a winner by a nose situation if you were at a horse race track. And then I would get the best news I would hear all day, that I unlocked that car, and I was ecstatic. And the first thing I did was go to this simple oval racetrack that they had and would just race around for hours on end searching for that song that helped me unlock the car in the first place, and would just race around in a circle all day listening to that song, enjoying that car to the fullest. And with that said, folks, wraps it up for yet another Micro Car Musical Inspiration Edition of the DJ Smokey's True Video Game Stories. And Maestro whispering something in my ear, oh, apparently we have a special treat for you folks. The song that inspired me to win all those races is next up on the track list, none other than Super Bright Light with their song, Nothing to Lose. And with that said, we might as well head into that song right now, and we'll be back with more Music Village goodness right after this. So don't go anywhere just yet, folks, and stay tuned.